A very good morning to you, ladies and gentlemen. We are still in Concojeru at Florida Cricket Oval. It is match day number 3 in the East African Safari T20 Cup. Today, Mount Elgon will be facing Mount Meru. Let's see Ivan Cyprian at the toss in the middle.
Good morning and welcome to match day 3 of the East African Safari T20 here at Florida Cricket Oval. It is a clash between two teams that lost on match day 1. Mountain Meru up against Mountain Elgon. And I have the captains here with me. Conrad Wamba, the captain for Mountain Meru. Emmanuel Twitche, the captain for Mountain Elgon. And the match umpire, Elizabeth Nakiwule. We are here for the toss. Heads is the call. And tails is on top. Conrad, congratulations upon winning the toss. What will you be doing first and why?
I think I'll have the ball first.
In the first game, you bowled first still, but you failed to chase the target. What do you hope to change going forward into this game?
I hope to change in my batting lineup because on the first day I got to know a little bit of the abilities of my players. So today I'll come with a new strategy. Yeah.
Go well and all the best.
All right.
Emma, if you had gotten a chance of winning this toss, what would you have done first and why?
I would have batted first. We want to be able to put up a defendable score that we can limit them to, given the fact last time we batted first and things didn't go our way. So we hope if we bat first this time round, we bat without pressure, things might go according to our plan.
Any particular point you would love to improve as we get into this game?
This time around we want our batters to be able to last longer, play long on the wicket, and then we try and maximize our power play and go with business so well.
Go well and all the best.
Thank you.
And that is the news coming from the center. Mountain Meru has won the toss and opted to bowl first.
That was that at the toss. Two teams here, Mount Elgon and Mount Meru, yet to test any victory in this edition, playing their second matches. Meru winning the toss, choosing to bowl first. As we've so often seen in this tournament, the team bowling first, going on to win. Will it follow the script? Live action will be coming to you shortly. My name is Solomon Lubwama Chigozi in the commentary box. The umpires for this morning game, the pair, Elizabeth Nachibule and Reston Alumansi. We will be bowling off from the forest end. Of course, the recent form for both teams being that they lost, yet to test victory. Mount Elgon losing by 55 runs to Kilimanjaro. Jackson Asiku, the lone standout in that batting order for Mount Elgon, 35 in 36. Jovan Komagum wreaking havoc for Mount Kilimanjaro. And on the bowling side, Ali Balidawa picking up 2 wickets for 18. And the captain, Emma Tujuche, 2 for 17. On the other hand, Mount Meru lost a game that seemed a cakewalk by 1 run. Conrad Lubwama with the first half century and the only half century so far in this tournament, 52 in 29. Richard Sohera with the first fifer, picking up 6 for 16 for Mount Satima. But it is the first ball. Eric Matovu coming in from the forest end, right on the money there. Ball to back of a length. Everyone still feeling their way around this encounter. And I will, not alone, but with the man, the myth, the legend, as I call him, Ivan Cyprian. Welcome, Ivan.
Thank you so much, and I'm happy to be here. It is match day 3, but what a shot there from Ali Walidawa. He did not open the batting in their first game, but today he's coming in and is making sure that he capitalizes and scores a lot in the power play. And that's a brilliant shot. A glorious off-break, just lofting it over the fielder of the mid-off fielder to break the shackles early and pick up that first boundary in this match.
Yes, we were questioning why Balidawa didn't open as that's his trade. Today deciding to come in, leaders of to proceedings. Eric Matovu, the danger man as well. Some changes. He's usually a middle overs bowler, but this time round Conrad Lubwama asking him to open the bowling. Definitely capable, and that dot ball shows that he's finding his lines now.
There should be more better adjustments that be made by Eric Matovu. An edge off the bat by the bumper ball. Good work there by Daniel Mhumza. He gave away many as a wicket keeper behind, but today he was right on spot, cutting that one off. It's a slow proceeding when you look at the body language, the sun, it's a breezy day. You've not yet seen any big reaction coming in from the players, but it is already a very good start for Mountain Elgon as they do search for the first victory this tournament. Both two teams losing their opening games, but today only one of them will have a chance to pick up the victory. And when you see now the current passage of play, Mountain Elgon wanted to bat first. Finally did not win the toss, but the decision taken by Mountain Meru to win the toss and opt to bowl first was right in their favor. Now here we are with the slow proceedings at the Florida Cricket Oval. One team looking very good in pink. Pink, a color made popular by the Sydney Sixers, a big bash league in Australia, and another in yellow. If you know CSK, the IPL team is one of that teams which love that color. But Ali Walida was still finding a way of getting the runs. And when you look at the previous boundary which was scored in this over, Eric Matovu has made some good adjustments to his lines and made a very good comeback. Just 4 off the first over.
Ivan, the only brightness out there in the middle is so far is the shots for Mount Meru side, looking good in that yellow with navy blue bottoms. Nasul Damadi picking up the ball, did a very good job in the first encounter against Mount Satima, who will come from the highway end.
Bowled some good pace in the first match, and back he comes, Damadi Nasul. But we'll start with one way outside the tram lines, very wide there from him. But you'll see clearly the plan there for Nasul Damadi, trying to bowl it to the 4th stump line. He has fine leg and 3rd man, but then we look at the fine leg fielder. He is standing very wide. But it is indeed another bright day. It is match day number 3 of the East African Safari T20.
A wicket keeper making a meal of that one, but a good ball kicking off the turf there from Damadi, surprising Balidawa. Bias will be indicated by the umpire.
Few changes being made in the field because it is now the left-handed batter who is currently on strike. Ali Walida scored the boundary the first over, broke the shackles early, and he will be hoping that he can continue scoring the runs. Hit, and all the way for a maximum. Ali Walida picking up the length very nicely, and he manages to hit that one past the long on boundary near cow corner to bring up the first maximum. He is dealing in boundaries. We saw him scoring 4 in the first over, and now into this second over he manages to hit that one all the way. What a shot there from Ali Balida, picking up the length very nice and making sure that he takes it all the way. Inside out shot. This time round, he manages to clear the infield. They are pushing quickly for the second, and that is brilliant running. Ali Validawa and Jonathan Nyenya, the two batters at the strike, making sure that they get their side, Mountain Elgon, to a great start. And Ali Validawa currently doing the aggressor role. It is such a time where you would feel that Jonathan Nyenya will be hoping that he can just keep rotating strike and making sure that Ali Balidawa is enjoying most of it. Now he comes around. Oh, brilliant there from Damadi Nasur. He's gone round and made sure that he brings the ball back to Ali Balidawa. Ali Balidawa not managing to pick up the length and just dabbing it to point. Vital dot ball there for Mount Meru. The two matches that we have so far seen in this tournament, the teams that have been batting first have been coming out to win. And now Elgon saying, even though they have lost the toss and they have been asked to bat, they will have to put a total on board and try and challenge the opposition team. Barisha there from Ali Balidawa, opening up the blade very nicely, slicing it away, first point to pick up another boundary.
And the very big contrasts, you would say, to when Ali Balidawa is opening to when he comes down the order, able to find those gaps, freezes arms quite early, cut well, and you had the fielder at point moving in quite closer to the bat, nowhere near the path of that ball.
Now is what changes, that when you come lower at the lower order, you somehow come at a time when the field has been split. That flick off the pads there by Ali Balidawa will give him a double, and the double will bring us to the end of the over. I'll get to my point later, but at the end of the second over, 20 for no loss is the score. That's their dugout, the dugout for Mount Elgon. They are now seeing the runs coming on board for their side. Very many happy faces there. But as I was saying, most of the times when you come lower the order, it means you're going to come at a time where there is some pressure because your team has lost some wickets. So you will have to do a bit of a rebuilding job. But now when you're opening the batting, you bat a little confidently, knowing that there are other batters who will come and follow you. Then also, inside, coming early or opening the batting like everybody has done today, you come at a time when the field is still in. Only two fielders are out because you're inside the power play. So you have a very good chance of capitalizing. And now for Ali Balida, if you can continue going, because he's confidently showing that he's seeing the ball, he will help his side, Mountain Elgon, to get to a somehow more respectable total. But now Eric Matov will be coming to bowl his second over. His first went for 4. Just the boundary scored by Ali Balidawa. Now he'll be bowling to the right-handed Jonathan Nyenya. A bit slow there, and works down behind the square for just a single. Good running.
Matov seems to be struggling with the first balls of his overs. That one quite full, not punished by Nyenya. But when he gets into the groove, he's a very dangerous bowler. Just to retaliate your point, teams are still discovering combinations, still working out chemistry to see what works and what doesn't. Of course, this being the second match for both teams, Mount Meru throwing it away in that encounter. Captain Lubwama has some words, and change of ends to come. Right arm round to the left-handed Balidawa. Ball in the slot there, and all he does is work it to the boundary. Another boundary for Balidawa.
has been the issue there for Matov Eric, trying to bring the ball closer to Ali Validawa. If you're bowling to Ali Validawa, you need to be bowling that ball which goes away from him, or bowling close to the wide line, because Ali Validawa shows that he's so good at picking up the length and clearing that boundary on the onside. So Eric Matov will need to adjust the lines. Fine, he's coming right arm round, but then the length that he's bowling, you see, even that one Balida picks up the length just that he rushes into the shot. That's why he doesn't clear the boundary. But now the ball coming back to him will be some sorts of freebies.
And the man with this eye in, Ali Balidawa, so far swinging merrily along, managing to find contact with most of the balls is first. Shows a batter in good form.
Some good fielding there from Mukisa Eric, making sure he doesn't give them any run. They want to take that quick run, but Mukisa Eric very quick on his toes, making sure that he cuts it off. And this is much needed for them, because every time there will be some dot balls, it somehow helps them to curb the damage that has been already made by Alivali Dawa. A bit of a leading edge. There was an appeal there. That ball must have gotten off the bat and not given by the umpire. But Eric Matov showing that he's interested. He's one of those aggressive players. He uses a lot of energy hitting the deck and going through his actions. But he has passion, and he always has that angle of picking up as many wickets as he can. And now he's celebrating. Alivali Dawa was on strike. The fielder at long on was at the boundary because he was picking on the length and taking him on. But now, as soon as Jonathan Nyenya comes on strike, the two fielders who are outside are now fine leg and third man. So meaning Matov Eric has that liberty of coming for the express pace.
And also trying to bring the wicket keeper back into play. Balls him. The previous ball that was bat ball showed the intention from Eric Matov. This time a quick one to dislodge the stumps for Jonathan Nyenya, who was to depart. The first wicket in this match, 26 for 1 after 3 overs. Quick Yorker in there, and Eric Matov gets some reward for his hard work.
Indeed, the reward there for the hard work, but look at the length that he has bowled to Jonathan Nyenya. Nyenya somehow closing on his bat instead of opening, or instead of presenting the full face of the bat, and that ball was waiting the block hole. Look at the way he slices his bat. He's made it, the bat goes a little across instead of going too straight, and that's how he gave out his wicket. Now somehow you feel that Mount Meru will be the happier side, because now they get rid of one of the batters and they'll be having another batter. Remember, in cricket, 1 brings 2. So now I think it is time for them to try and make sure that they keep the pressure on. Malukom Kato is the new batter in, but I feel that Mountain Elgon has missed something. When you have a player like Adam Kasim who can rotate the strike around, and you have Ali Badida who is doing the aggressor role, bring in Adam Kasim to make sure that he's just giving Ali Badida the strike. But now bringing in Katoma Lukom. Katoma Lukom is a wicket that they can easily take Mountain Meru because of their experience. And by the time you bring in Kasim Adam, if the side has lost 2 wickets, it means there will be pressure on him. He cannot bat more freely.
Kato Malcolm coming at the top of the order. Yes, he prefers coming top of the order, not very strong, using the pace, has a good eye, able to keep the wickets out. So you feel that they have sent him in to bat around and offer strike to Ali Validawa, but Nasul Damadi continues from the highway end. Heart and soul fielding there from the men from Mount Meru.
Given the fact that both teams lost the first game and only one can pick up the victory, the fight they are coming in from Mount Meru is because they are trying to make sure that they fight and don't give anything away. They know it is time for them to keep the pressure on and make sure that they pick up something. Picks up the length very nicely, but Arthur Mwaga guilty of using his feet to stop the ball. It was traveling, and Ali Walida with another boundary for Mount Elgon.
Picked up quickly by Ali Balidawa and pulls it to the mid-wicket area for another boundary. A very good power play so far for Mount Elgon. Opportunity, but that ball coming over the shoulder of the fielder and unable to complete that catch.
Yeah, the captain very unhappy. Conrad Wama saying that was clearly a chance which was presented to them, and unhappy with the Nasif Sia who didn't get hold onto it.
That would have been asking too much of Nasif. Balidawa going over the man, riding the ring. That catch over your shoulder is very, very difficult. And he didn't have the start.
Yeah, the hard chances are the chances that really help you win the game, because this is a wicket that they really needed, and now somehow they don't take it. Because it's when you get rid of Ali Balida, teams are going to fight with players like Emmanuel Tujuchi, and you get a very big chance of strangling back. Because if Ali Balida falls before this team gets to around 60 or 70, it means that Emmanuel Tujuchi will also come with some bit of pressure. So meaning you stand a very big chance of picking up something if you get this early wicket. And you've seen most of the teams don't bat too deep. Every time you get rid of the first 5 batters for about 70 runs, the only runs that the rest can add are about 20.
Having to come again, Nasul Damadi. Field changes from Conrad Lubwama, sends in a slip to Malcolm Kato and protects the boundary on the offside with that man Deep Fine as well out there. That one, the only 2 boundary riders right in the block hole there.
Yeah, that was really a good ball there coming in from Nasul Damadi. He went a little pace off, making sure that he forces Malcolm Kato into hitting to the covers. But as we come to the end, to the final ball of this over, they are coming in from Nasul Damadi. A little sliced, but into the gap, and there is a no ball call there from the umpire. With that single taken, the no ball call means that the free hit will be pressed by Ali Walidawa. And since he has been showing that he's in some good flow of runs, 30 of 17, he has another opportunity presented to him to go for that boundary.
It has been quite noticeable from Nasul Damadi that his foot is sliding when he plants it in his bowling stride.
He goes, but he manages elevation and not distance. The catch is taken, but it will not count. And good work there from Eddie Gamdola, making sure that he cuts that one off to just a single. And the single will bring us to the end of the over. Nasul Damadi looking a little expensive. 25 in his first 2. And at the end of the 4th, 36 for 1 is the score. bowling change for Mount Meru. The bowling change will now see the introduction of a spinner in Mukisa Eric into the attack. They've looked somehow comfortable playing pace, and now there is some change in the attack. He will be bowling to the dangerous Ali Validawa. Cow corner and long on all at the boundary, because Ali Validawa loves the onside. It's a natural shot that comes to the left-handed batters, clearing the yon. He goes this time round not on the on the offside, and all the way for a maximum. A little too full coming in from Mukisa Eric, and Ali Valida welcomes him into the attack with a maximum. But look at that shot there, the alignment of the ball and the way he swings and goes through that line, because long off was up. It meant that Ali Valida was going to pick up something on the off. The bowler now already under pressure. Backward of length, well guided by Ali Walidawa, but good work there from the fielder cutting off that one, and just a single they will do take. It will be some bit of relief there for the bowler Mukisa Eric, because it is now Malcolm Kato who is on strike, and when Malcolm Kato comes on strike, the fielder who goes at cow corner for the right-handed batter stands at 45 yards. Long on still stays down, but now most of the protection is on the off because it's off spin. A pace of delivery can see him dab one to the off side. Malcolm Kato. Right into the block hole and blocked by Malcolm Kato. If he had pushed it a little harder, maybe he could have accessed that gap between cover and the bowler. The short cover fielder standing a little closer, so if you drive it down, since long off is down, you can pick up the run. That one beats him completely. It was a quick one there from Mukisa Eric, and another dot ball. It's what I said, when you have Malcolm Cotton strike, you dot ball with a lot of pressure, because it becomes easy for you to get the dot balls. Another dirty ball, but no pressure whatsoever, because Ali Validawa has made sure that they score close to 8 every over, 8.50 to be specific, and one more ball remaining in the over. A pace of delivery there from Eric makes a bit of a floater, and he will go for only 7 in his first, and at the end of the 5th, scoreboard reads 43 for a loss of 1.
Conrad Ubama, the captain, choosing to bowl spin in tandem to close out the power play. Sia Nassif comes into the attack. A man who picked up 2 wickets in that encounter against Mount Satima. Tall, lanky fella there should be able to extract some bounce with his height and release point.
Now, since this is the final over of the power play, it is okay to bowl a spinner, because Ali Walidawa loved the pace on. So if you go pace off, fine, he can hit you for a maximum, but you'll not be so comfortable because he is playing cautiously, feeling inside him that you can leave one up in the air. So now what you do, come and bowl. If by chance you get your leader off the strike, then you can squeeze in some dot balls when Malcolm Kato is on strike. And now Nassif Sia will be bowling right arm round for Ali Walidawa. And the field is set up. There is long on and long off at the boundary because we saw him play an inside out shot in the previous over, picking up a maximum. Now there is some protection. A little short, but it's what the field. A good start there for Nassif Sia. It is a dot ball.
Starts off with bowling to his field on the offside, trying to draw Balidawa into that inside out shot, but that will not help matters. The full ball don't put away by Balidawa. Just pick one, and he gestures the shot that he should have played. Nassif changing ends to come right arm over to the right-handed Kato. Malcolm Kato has to just try and find the gap, get off strike, bring Ali Balida on. But you feel that Mount Elgon have still some batting in their lineup. Emma Twijuche, the captain, yet to come. Jackson Asiku as well. And that ball is completely well down the leg side for a wide. A very close in field set for, and he finds that edge. Malcolm Kato ticking all the boxes that he was required to do. Rotate strike. Always get Balida onto strike. Another full toss there from Sia Nassif. And you feel that the dew on the field is troubling the spinners in their bid to grip the ball. But yes, still a quiet over. Very intelligent batting there from the young man. Goes above the heads of the men who had come in close to the bat. Finds one, gets his partner onto strike. One ball to complete Nassif Sia's first over. And goes wide. Balida tried to follow that to sweep it away, but well wide in this instance.
That one is off the edge of the bat, and they will take the single, but a much better start there from Nassif Sia. But that single will bring up 50 runs inside the power play, and it will be a win situation for Mount Elgon. They have done a lot of good job making sure that they get all those runs. Ali Walida already in his 40s, 41 of 24, and at the end of the power play, 6 gone, 50 for 1 is the score. It is match day 3 of the East African Safari T20 Cup here at Florida Cricket Oval. Tournament is sponsored by Dafabet, Kingsley Children's Medical Center, and Deep End Sports Media being the broadcast partners. But Mukono Cricket Community and Cricket Uganda being the organizers of this inaugural edition of the East African Safari. 6 teams picking names from the different mountains. The current clash between Mount Meru and Mount Elgon, both teams losing their opening games. For Meru, it was a heartbreaking loss. They lost by just 1 run, whereas for Mount Elgon, they fell short by many, 55. And now Eric Mukisa will be coming into the attack again, but now they'll be happy that they are giving out only singles, because when you look at the previous approach there by Alibalidao, he is hitting hard. I'm not sure why he is dropping down the ball, maybe because of the nervous 40s, but at the moment you need to make sure that you keep the runs flowing, because playing cautiously may not help his team to get many. And the pass score still standing at 130, but we've also seen that the teams that are batting first in this tournament have all won the first 4 games. There is an appeal there, but not given by the umpire.
Malcolm Katop playing bat pad to what Kisa Eric is offering, and he will wait for that ball to which he can push to try to get his strike partner onto strike. And like you said, that Balidawa needs to keep batting the way he was batting. Don't get so mindful of the scoreboard or personal milestones, because that freedom is quite freeing to the mind, and that you will have clarity on what to do. Started off well, and that run rate for Mount Elgon is all due to him. Nyanya Jonathan coming in and not staying for long. Meru picking up just that solitary wicket in the power play.
That one cramping him for room, but it was turning in a little much, and the appeal there from Mukisa Eric will go in vain. That ball was angling in, it would have missed leg stump. But now the plan for Conrad Luwama, the captain for Mount Meru, bringing in the spinners, is now working out for him, because despite Eric Mukisa coming into the attack and going for a maximum, he has made sure that he adjusts his lines and is now bowling it a little tight, bowling in tandem with Nasif Sia. And now the plan working out for the team, making sure that now they put in as more dot balls as they can to now shift the pressure back to Mount Elgon. That's the ball there, pace off, and it is another dot ball for Mukisa Eric. Bringing us to the end of the over, and after 7, 52 for 1 is the score.
And now Conrad Luwama, the captain, realizing that spin has brought much joy, quietened down the batters, takes the ball to replace Sia Nasif from the highway end. Ali Balidawa in some sort of discomfort there. His shoulder seems to be troubling him, and that will also be on his mind as he tries to play. It is Malcolm Kato on strike.
You're not sure what the thinking was for Conrad Luwama taking Nasif out of the attack. Nasif came and bowled and went for 8. A bit of extras, 3 weights in his spell. But now he comes in, I think he's looking for who has better groove between him and Nasif Sia. But now the spin doing the magic for them. You would hope that if you have an extra spinner in the team, you keep bowling that spinner to make sure that you get as many dot balls as you can. But that a little loose, and it is wide down the leg.
Malcolm Kato doesn't move a muscle and misses out on that full toss down the leg. I think Luwama changes ends to come. Right arm over, sliced there by Kato to pick up another single. I think that Conrad Luwama coming in from the highway end is to give opportunity to Sia Nasif to come from the forest end. 3 spinners is used so far. Right arm round. Lubama will come to Balidawa to try to create that angle. But that ball going down the leg. A lot of mind games out there between bowler and batter to try and create some advantage. Picks up that short ball there from Lubama, skied quite high, and they managed to pick up a double, unable to find the boundary.
It was a little loose there coming in from Conrad Luwama. Boundary for there coming in from Ali Validawa. What a shot there. He was looking to take him on, and now he just turns with the turn, and he manages to hit it down. Another full toss, and hit down the ground. Ali Validawa brings up his... Oh no, he is still remaining with the run to reach the 50 runs mark. He is on 49. But now we've come to the end of the 8th over. 62-1 is the score. For 1 projected score reading 135 will be defended if they do get to that total. Nasif Sia changing bowling sides, and it's a good captaincy there because Eric Moksa is a very tidy spinner. You can keep him and bowl him at a time when you need the wickets, but at the moment they're just bowling to get dot balls, so he will not be in a bit of fear if he has Nasif Sia still bowling and picking up the match in the dot balls. That was a little full there for Ali Validawa, but just driven. If you had driven it a little straighter, you could have had a very big chance of playing it down the ground for... And now it's a wicket. Middle stump there, uprooted by Nasif Sia. Malcolm Kato looked ugly in the frame going across the line, and Nasif Sia manages to pick up the first wicket in his name and the second for Mount Meru.
Kato Malcolm doing all the good work and doing all the good work that he had done for that team, going across to one that is full and straight, trying to create room to access the leg side, but only gifts a wicket to Sia Nasif. You would feel that Mount Meru are now have won that passage of play the last 4 overs, drying up the boundaries, keeping the batters to just singles and doubles, picking up a crucial wicket. Nasif trying to make sure that Mount Elgon does not reach the 120 runs mark. That is the magical number here so far in the tournament. Very, very defendable score. Emmanuel Prijuche, the captain, is the new man in.
They'll be playing and hoping that they can do get the wicket of Ali Validawa. But now it will be the captain to join Ali at the crease. Prijuche, another player who has that ability of getting the runs. A touch there backward of the square by Emmanuel Prijuche, some good control. And the overthrow giving them an extra run. Guilty of not throwing the ball very well, and Prijuche will get off the mark with the double.
Deft touch there from Emma Tujuche. That ball angling towards his leg stump. Manages to put bat to ball.
Loose, but hit over the head of the field at mid-wicket for just a single. Much better passage of play now for Mount Meru, because they have made sure that they just give away dirty balls and they try and bring back the pressure. A little stuck in his crease. No foot movement there from Emmanuel Tujuche, but a dirty ball. End of the over. 9 overs gone, and the 66 for 2 is the score. Luwama Conrad will reward himself with another over, because he is captain and he is running traffic on the pitch. Doesn't do him any harm if he comes and he bowls the second over. Conrad Luwama, formerly a player with the under-19 team for Uganda. He was part of the team that played for Uganda in Nigeria last year during the under-19 World Cup qualifier, where disaster I feel Uganda was relegated to Division 2. They will be playing in August down in Kigali in the Division 2 qualifier. Tanzania going on to represent Africa in the under-19 World Cup. Now that is hit up in the air. Who wants to catch that one? It will be Nassif Sia. Brilliantly holding onto it. And Ali Walidawa, the prize wicket, the wicket they really needed, will be the batter to make the long walk back to the dugout.
Straight ball, and Balida creating room, moving his foot to the onside, but mistimes it, skies it to the man in the ring. Sia Nassif well and truly under that ball, completes the catch for the third wicket. Score is 67 for the loss of 3 in 9.1 overs. Much better passage of play for Mount Meru. Of course, winning the toss, electing to bowl first. Mount Elgon had a flyer of a start in the power play, but Meru fighting back from over number 6 onwards, picking up 2 wickets there. Balidawa makes his way to the dugout. A new batting pair out there in the middle. Emma Tujuche just come in, first 3 balls, and now joined by Jackson Asiku. Asiku was the lone fighter in their encounter against Mount Kilimanjaro, managing to hit 35 in 36 balls, but unable to push his side to victory, losing by a mammoth 55 runs.
He is a capable batter, Jackson Asiku. Conrad Luwama coming round for the right-handed Asiku. Brilliant shot there from Asiku. What a way to get off the mark. Creates his room and manages to slap it through covers to get off the mark with that single. Now these two, Emmanuel Tujuche and Jackson Asiku, will be hoping that they can get runs for Mount Elgon. 67 for 3, with the current run rate dropping down a bit from 8 to 7.25. Will mean that they will keep maintaining that at least 7 every over to get close to 120, 130. Still coming round Conrad Luwama. That was loose and it was hit picking it up very nicely, but the only issue with this pitch has been with the infield. Every time the ball lands down, it gets a little stuck. So off a beautiful shot there from Emmanuel Tujiche, the captain for Mount Elgon. It's only 2 runs that they will do add to the total.
That ball drops like a stone, unable to move an inch. Tujuche going more vertical and trying to access the boundary. Now protection and reinforcement sent out Eric Matovu sent to deep mid wickets. Kaokona is still there and long gone.
Yeah, because clearly Emmanuel Tujiche has shown intentions of hitting the onside, so they do deploy protection for him. Good change is the field there by Conrad Ruwama. That's a much better ball, and it is a dot ball. But when you look at the upcoming fixtures for both teams, Mount Meru and Mount Elgon, they both will be in action on Friday, as Meru takes on Karisimi in the morning and Elgon takes on Satima in the afternoon. And when today in the afternoon, Mount Renzori and Mount Satima will be clashing off. They will be facing off at this very ground starting at 2 p.m. So make sure you keep it deep in sports media so that you don't miss any of these games. A little quick there from Conrad Duwama, and Emmanuel Tujiche waiting for it and slicing it on. It is traveling, and yes, it crosses the boundary. What a shot, good timing and placement, managing to pick up the gap at deep point and bring up another boundary for Mount Elgon. The shot there, a bit of too short and too wide, was traveling away from him, but Tujiche just making sure that he creates room backwards and slicing it on. Bring us to the end of the halfway mark, and after 10 overs, 74 for 3 is what the scoreboard reads for Mount Elgon.
Sia Nassif will continue for his third over from the forest end. Sets the boundary riders in long off and long on. Pins the man back in. And we've seen some balls staying low so far today. So Asiku quite mindful to that one. Goes aerial and straight down back the pitch for his first maximum.
Brilliantly done there by Jackson Asiku. That's the previous ball that Emmanuel Tujiche scored boundary in the previous over. But Asiku picking up the length fairness and sending that one as straight as we'd love to see it and bring up a maximum. Now the 8 runs come on board for Mount Elgon. They struggled and ended on only 91 in a game where they needed 93 runs to win against Mount Satima in the opener of this tournament. But now somehow the runs are coming their way. Sefsia compensating a little much. He will be making sure that he draws it a little backward of the length to make sure that he's forcing Jackson as to either come forward to hit or get back and lean and try to play on the back foot. Let's see how he adjusts it. Too full and too wide, but it is the dot ball. Much better ball there. Asiku trying to cut but nowhere close to the ball, and it is a dot ball for Nassif Sia. Long on, long off at the boundary. Cow corner, deep square leg all deployed. Another dot ball. Brilliant there from Nassif.
Good joker there from Nassif Sia, and he will be bowling the final ball of his third over. Bowls it wide. Asiku tries to create room but unable to cut it away. End of the 11th over, 80 for the loss of 3 wickets.
For the first time in the game, we do see Ashraf Andrew Hajiguju coming into the attack. Spain has been doing magic, exception of the few maximums. And now Hajiguju Andrew replaces the captain Conrad Rwama from the highway end. He doesn't have a lot of spin, but his release and areas that he hits Ashraf always gives him a chance of picking up wickets and even getting many dirty balls. Look at his action. Those are his balls. Not too much pace on their balls. He floats it up in the air. But now we'll be seeing Jackson Asku trying to take him on, because Jackson Asku is one of those few batters who will see getting stuck in the crease and waiting for the ball. So he stands to be one of those batters who can take a good liking to the bowling of Hajiguju Andrew. All his protection is on the onside, creating room to hit it on the onside, but he misses it. Not sure of who survived the who, but Jackson Asku showing clear intentions of hitting the onside. And now Hajiguju will be thinking of bowling outside off. That's played down the ground, and the only single they will do take. You feel that Hajiguju is one of the few bowlers to hit in the game, but the way he's bowling, it doesn't look like he can easily go for many.
Appearances are deceptive, and you have to play the ball on its merit. Pins Trijuche into the crease, but manages to whip it off his feet. And a quiet over, you would say, so far.
Good over, just 3 singles in it, and make it another dot ball in the over, trying to access the offside. But it was a good idea there, because the offside is not too much protected, so if you access it, you can quickly pick up a boundary. Bit of a googly, but straight to the field, and another dot ball. Brilliant over in the making there, as it comes to an end. Only two singles in that over, and as we come to the end of the 12th, 82 for 3 is the score.
You would feel that this is the point of acceleration for Mount Elgon side. Try and breach that 100 run mark quickly, and then anything that you get above that is bonus. Knowing well that the premium pace bowlers have overs to bowl at the tail end of this encounter. And Nasul Damadi changes bowling ends, replaces Sia Nasif coming in from the forest end. Inspired bowling change there. Emma Tujuche, feet stuck in the mud. Nasul Damadi makes a great comeback, uproots the off stump, and that will be the 4th wicket down for Mount Elgon side.
What a wicket there. Emmanuel Tujuche trying to present the full face of the bat, but not sure how the off stump was uprooted. He looked good in the frame, but somehow you'll see there is no foot movement there from him. He didn't get anywhere closer to the ball. Made the shimmy down the track, but he didn't manage to get it with the bounce. The ball uprooting the off stump, and the captain, to make the long walk, look at the way he looks at it, quite in disbelief of how that ball skidded through, and he went on to hit his wickets. The third one, the big opponent, is the 4th one for Mount Meru that goes.
Emma Tujuche is always a dancing batter. one we call a dancing batter to pace bowlers. Never stays in his crease, always walking down the track. Tried to do that this time round, but Nasulda Madi saw him coming, bowls it back over length and angled into the stumps. Great success to him there. Losing wickets in this phase of play. 5 balls to come from this Nasul Damadi over. Nasul seems to be in inspired form right now, troubling the batters. Good hands there from Adam Kasim, off the mark with the boundary 4, plays it off his feet. Good comeback there from Damadi, pinning the man back in the crease. You would say good eyes and good hands from Adam Kasim. And one thing I love about Adam Kasim, he bats with lots of composure. You will see the dabs and jabs from him, trying to use the pace of the bowler. Very good batter who rotates strike. But that's another dot ball there from Nasul Damadi. Good call there from Adam Kasim going into the danger zone, but Eric Mukisa with a good pickup. But a wanting throwback to the keeper. 12 overs done. I beg your pardon, 13 overs completed. 88 for the loss of 4 wickets. We apologize for the graphics on your screen, which will be updated shortly. Mount Elgon a bit stuck now in the 80s. Andrew Hajaguju will continue from the highway end, bowled brilliantly the first over, conceding only 3. And you said, Ivan, that his balls are always juicy.
Yeah, Now when you're here in the crease, you feel itching. Now look at that one. Too full and outside off stuff. Just open up the bat and slap it. No feel that extra cover. But Adam Kasim playing it on the back foot. I tell you, these balls are juicy. I rather get out than accepting to concede the dot ball when Ashraf is bowling. Look at that. Much better. But only a single they will do take. Oh, it is formed by the field that covers, but still they will just take one run.
Lazy running there, you would say. We always take the first run first. Try to increase the pressure upon the fielder. A batter competent in moving his feet should be able to enjoy the bowling from Andrew, but poor timing there from Asiku and a resultant dot ball. And that is the opportunity. Nasul Damadi, safe hands at the boundary. Andrew Hajaguju gets his man. And I told you, Ivan, his bowling is deceptive. It is meant to extract those results. Flighted and on the first stamp line there, that ball doesn't turn much. Asiku doesn't time that ball well, manages to only find the man at the boundary. A deep extra cover, Nasul Damadi. 89 for the loss of 5 so far for Mount Elgon. The East African Safari T20 Cup, proudly sponsored by Dafabet, Kingsley Children's Medical Center, organized by Mukono Cricket Community. Not forgetting to mention our streaming and broadcasting partners, Deep End Sports, of course, under the watchful eyes of Cricket Uganda. A lot happening on the cricket landscape, both in the leagues. In the league, just completed the Girls Schools Cricket Week in Gulu, and to build on that, the girls, under 19 girls from the team that was selected, undergoing intensive training under the watchful eyes of Brian Masaba and Ivan Kakandi. Andrew Hajaguju has 2 balls to complete. New man in.
The one thing about Andrew Hajaguju, he doesn't go for many, but again he picks up the wickets. But the left-handed Kenneth Ogenroth can take him on maybe. Ogenroth stuck again, and it is another dot ball for Andrew Hajaguju. This ball you wait on and go hard at it, but it is a dot ball. One more to play in this over. Distributed there by Arthur Mwaga. Chance for them to pick up 2 runs. They'll comfortably take a double. A double will take them to 91 as we come to the end of the 14th over.
And there is a bowling change from the first end. Captain feels that some pace would do some good. Eric Matovu given that responsibility to break this partnership that is slowly building. Projected score is 130 runs, which would be a very good score for Mount Elgon. It is a very defendable score. Starts off with the full toss there. Adam Kasim offering nothing to a juicy ball, and I don't think he's going to get very many like those from Eric Mukisa. Sorry, Eric Matovu, I beg your pardon. Already picked up 1 wicket, conceding 10 in his 2 overs. Good Yorker there, kept out by Adam Kasim. Matovu, a very feisty customer to face. Kenneth Ogenroth, well versed with Matovu being students of St. Cornelius Kalagala SS, a school under Mukono Cricket Community, not very far from this Florida cricket over here in Kokwanjeru. Whipped well by Kenneth Ogenroth to get off off the mark. Picks up 4 runs there. Well driven there by the young man.
It was long time coming there for Kenneth Ogenroth. He's been looking for runs, and somehow that boundary will be one of the things that restores his confidence. We've seen him score some big maximums and big boundaries, and now that he is already off the mark, he'll be just hoping that he can continue scoring the runs. Much better adjustment there from his schoolmate Eric Matovu, bowling it outside off stump and picking up that dot ball. It should be the line for him to bowl, because Kenneth would love to take him on. Thick outside edge. Does that one run away? Yes. All the way to the boundary. 2 boundaries in the over. And now looking good there. Daniel Muhumuza chipping in the dive, but not in position to get hold of that one.
A thick outside edge, quick, using the pace of the bowler, and Ogenroth picks up 4. And 100 run mark achieved by Mount Elgon. Same result to the same ball, but with protection there now. Should keep that to a single run. And 1 ball. I beg your pardon. Eric Matovu conceding 20 so far in his 3 with that solitary wicket. But after 15, it is 101 runs for the loss of 5 for Mount Elgon, who were asked to bat first by the men in yellow, winning the toss, trying to restrict them to a low score. But the 3 figures score broken. Change of bowler from the highway end, as Eric Mukisa will now come in. Starts off with a full toss, dab back to the bowler by Ogenroth, not taking advantage. Tries to create room on the leg side to cut that ball, but stays low. And that would be a good death ball from Mukisa. That should be a no ball. Good running there for again to return to on strike to take advantage of the free hit. Mukisa has been struggling with the grip on the ball, and you've seen him bowl 3 full tosses in this over. Almost committing the cardinal sin, Kenneth Ogenroth, of running and not making ground to the only option that will get you out of a free hit. No run on offer there. Good comeback from Eric Mukisa, ably supported by the fielders in the ring on the offside. Goes Ario, but that should be a catching opportunity. Eric Mudola, Edgar Mudola coming off the long on boundary, unable to control his momentum. Got ball, hands to ball, but unable to break his fall, and that ball popping out. Final ball of this Mukisa over, and he does well. I beg your pardon, he had 2 now, only 1 to complete his over, accounting for that no ball. Pick up a single there from Adam Kasim, and score is 107 for 5 after 16 overs. Andrew Ajaguju changes bowling ends. They run 2 quick ones, opportunity to run out, doesn't cleanly pick up that ball, and you feel that Adam Kasim and Ogenroth are going to run hard, try to get as many runs in these remaining overs, and wait for the bad balls to hit for boundaries. Another running opportunity there, pick up another one.
combination of strike between these two looking so good. The way they are hitting the ball around and making sure that they get the runs is looking so nice.
Finds the gap to add some runs to the total. Rocking back to the back foot. Man at short covers, put there for that specific reason, to keep the singles in check. And the turf doing some work for Mount Elgon. Fielder comes in and it hits a divot, bounces over his head for boundary 4. At least now Adam Kasim trying to use his feet to get to the pitch of that ball and to the bowling of Andrew Hajaguju. (17 overs, 16 overs completed, 115 runs so far for the loss of 5 for Mount Elgon. Fielder out there needing some medical attention. Look at the scoreboard there. 16 overs completed, 115 runs for 5 wickets. Mount Elgon setting a score, having been asked by Mount Meru, who won the toss, to bat first. Plenty of spectators out here to watch the cricket. The schoolboys are on holiday, so have come out in good numbers. Of course, some of them already involved in the tournament for the various teams. And a look at the highlights there. This is match day number 3, game number 5. Between Mount Elgon and Mount Meru. Two teams having their second match in this tournament, coming off losses in their first encounters. Mount Elgon losing by 55 to Kilimanjaro, and Mount Meru losing by a solitary run to Satima in an encounter where they snatched defeat from the jaws of victory quick fire 50, the first half century of the tournament from Conrad Lubwama, their captain, had set them on their way, but a collapse saw them fighting and losing the battle for their lives in that encounter. Satima emerging the happier side. Action between the 6 teams on a double round robin format, and the finals will be contested between the eliminators, number 1 versus number 2, number 3 versus number 4, to contest the final. And after that temporary break, Ajaguju looks to complete his over. Ends with the dot ball. 17 overs now being completed. 114 for the loss of 5. Projected scores still above 130 at 134.
Yeah, Mount Elgon crossing that 100 runs mark will mean that they will play with some bit of confidence and make sure that they just add a little more runs. 3 more overs remaining, exactly 18 deliveries. So the runs they can add at this time will be the winning runs for them. And now it will be Eric Mukisa to bowl the 18th. 15 of 16 for Adam Kasim and 13 of 12 for Kenneth Ogdenwood. Somehow these two have stuck in and made sure that they stabilize innings a little. And with Ogdenwood on strike, long on, long off, and another fielder towards cow corner, but close to deep mid wicket, all at the boundary, as Eric Mukisa continues right arm round for the left-handed Kenneth Ogdenwood. Hits one to through the cover area. Chance for them to take 2 because that is fumbled by Muaga Arthur, and good running between these two.
Muaga not having a fine day out of the field so far. Has been guilty several times of extra runs to the batters. 2 runs away from the 120 and 20 more from the magical 140, which has proved quite difficult for teams to achieve. And the dot ball at this point is very, very precious to the batting, to the bowling side, but Eric Mukisa doing the magic. Again, Rod Kenneth trying to create room, but missing the ball and has to depart bowled.
Yeah, you talked about the dot ball being much precious, and now Eric Mukisa manages to space it up with a wicket. Another one there goes for Mount Elgon, and it was the calm looking Kenneth Ogdenwood who didn't manage to get one out of his block hole. Look at that ball there. He stepped away from the lane of the ball, exposing his leg stump, and Eric Mukisa winning the battle. Mukisa Eric getting his first wicket as Mount Elgon loses the 6th.
You spoke about him being a good bowler at the death, proving you right there, and he should be able to clean up the tail now. Mulindwa Christian makes his way to the middle as the new batter. Eric Mukisa left with 3 balls to complete his 4-over spell. Has picked up 1 wicket, conceded 14. Miserly figures there for him, for his team. And the sun finally out for the men in yellow. A rush shot from Mulindwa sees him depart for a golden duck there. Eric Mukisa cleaning up the tail. Standing on middle stump and trying to play across. Very dangerous. Plants the foot forward, but goes across the line. Happy days for Eric Mukisa, whose figures keep improving. Hat-trick opportunity now, and what a moment we have in the game. A very nervous looking batter coming in there. Takes guard. New batter in is Lule Arafat. Opportunity for a hat-trick. The umpire uninterested in that. Feels that there was some bat on ball, but it is a dot ball as consolation from Eric Mukisa. Why not one final ball to complete his allotted 4? And that is the no ball. Free hit incoming there. Of course, a close infielder on the offside for him, and Mukisa will rule that chance. Balls Lule Arafa trying to go for the big one. After 18 overs, it is 117 for 7. Adam Kasim 15 in 16. Lule Arafa yet to get off the mark. And Mount Elgon have 12 balls to further push their total to comfortable territory. The sun is out, and it seems with a vengeance. Great weather to play cricket. We are down here in Florida Cricket Oval in Kokonjeru. Andrew Hajaguju will come to bowl his 4th over, continuing from the forest end. Man at long off, long on keeps it to 1, and you see the intention from Adam Kasim now, swinging to those balls, and the contest is between coach and Protege, between Hajaguju Andrew and Lule Arafat. Andrew Hajaguju doing some coaching for Mukono Cricket Community. And Lule Arafat. Opportunity to catch missed by Eric Matovu. And Lule has his first runs. Slog sweep there, unable to put it away, completely beyond the boundary. Opportunity to catch. The catch is completed by Sia Nasif. I beg your pardon. And Adam Kasim departs. Not much power in that shot. You would feel, realizing that it is go time, but man without the resources manages only to find a man at mid-on. Great catch there from Sia Nasif, going backwards but keeping his eyes on the ball to complete the catch. That will be at the end of the 19th over. It is 119 runs for the loss of 8. Andrew Hajaguju completing his allotted 4 with an economy of 4, having conceded only 16 runs, picking up 2. Sia Nasif to bowl the final over. Lule Arafat, the batter, with a slip in place, misses out on that one. Balled wide and turning back in from Nasif. We'll have to bowl that one again, going beyond the legal limits there. Sia Nasif, 1 for the extras column for Mount Elgon. On one knee, Arafat, but Mudola making an meal out of that one. Hard time. Technique letting down Edgar Mudola. You would say that he presented hard hands, and that ball hitting the palms and falling out. The comeback is a dot ball from Sia Nassif. Well driven in the V there, runs down the track, Kabanda, but sent back by Arafat, who is in the mood for some hitting, you would say. Missed catch there from the keeper. And it will be the final ball of the first innings. No run up at all from Sia Nassif. Missed out by Lule Arafat. And Mount Elgon will finish at 122 runs for the loss of 8 wickets. Arafat Lule picks up 2 in 9. Andrew Kabanda 1 in 4. First innings done and dusted. Ali Balidawa leading with 51 runs. Adam Kasim and Kenneth Ogen wrote the other double scorers. Leave you with the highlights, and coming up will be the second innings.
back for this run chase. 123 runs from 120 balls needed for Mount Meru to pick up victory against Mountain Elgon. What a first innings we had on the cards. And now here we come back for this clash. The two umpires right back in the middle, Elizabeth Nakivule alongside Nalumansi Resti. As we get back to this interesting passage of play. My name is Evan Super and Sajabi, and I'm here with Solomon Luamachigozi. I'd like to put him on the hot seat right away. Solomon, 123 runs. Will it be defendable, or it will depend on how Conrad Luama will bat? Because he is the only half centurion in this tournament.
Just a slight correction there, Ivan. Ali Balidawa this morning as well has made a half century. Only two people have crossed that Rubicon. But 122, as we've seen, is a very good score to get so far in the tournament. If you bowl well, you should be able to cause problems to the chasing side. And as we have seen that the batting side has most likely gone on to win the contest, but it will all depend on Conrad Lubwama. He looks in fine form, that half century scored against Satima, but just like you will see in Kilimanjaro, Robert Owiri hope that when they depart, runs do what? Dry up, but he has to bat to the end.
Conrad Luama not getting out of the blocks, not opening, but it is Eddie Gamudola and Daniel Muhumza who are opening the batting for the team. And Ali Walidawa has the ball. We are just moments away from the first ball of this run chase. Straight to the fielder. Dirty ball, brilliant fielding there from the man at covers. He knows they're not working with so many runs. Luja Ashraf. Oh, sorry, Lule Arafat. These two with some bit of confusing names. Beautiful 2 dot balls. Good start there by Mount Elgon.
Lule and Luja phonetically sounding similar. Pressure right on to the batter. A quick one there from Ali Balidawa. A man behind the gloves. The man with the gloves on behind the stumps should get hold of those balls. Opportunity for a catch. As you even have slip in there, the appeal comes in, and usually it is all mind games, testing the might of the umpires who stand resolute. The umpire has the best view in the house. Playing on the back foot there, Mudola. And it will be the final ball of the first over. Finally manages to find the gap, but protection there from Christian Mulindwa at deep extra cover. 1 run conceded by Ali Balidawa, and the solitary run for Mount Meru for no loss after 1.
Ogenroth Kenneth, who has been bowling some good express pace, will be now the new bowler into the attack for Mount Elgon. Just one run of the first over. But Kenneth Ogenroth will be bowling some express pace. The left armer will be coming round, bowling to, I beg your pardon, he bats left and bowls right. And he'll be coming right arm over. Thick outside edge, near carry to the wicket keeper, but it goes all the way, and a single for Mudola Ediga.
Ogenroth reminds you of Tornado Bees Jeremy Chibuka Musoke, man who has been in cricket for some years now. Council Chibuka Musoke. But offering an opportunity there, and the captain rightly bringing in a slip, because that ball is moving from Ogenroth. Slower ball there, played to the onside. That should be 2. Good running in between wickets there. But I love the attitude of the Mount Elgon fielders. Have had clean pickups so far. And they have a lot of bowling in their ranks. Emma Twijuche, Jackson Asiku, Adam Kasim, all competent bowlers. Good fielding there from Kenneth Ogenroth to that ball played back to him. Trying to access the V there. Mudola. Muhumuza. Pins him back. Balls on the middle and leg stump line there. Ogenroth offering no room at all for Muhumuza to work with. I just love the mechanics of Kenneth Ogenroth. Very smooth run up. Able to use it to generate some pace. Hit back, but kept just in the inner ring there for a single by Jackson Asiku. Asiku today failing with the bat, but he will have some bowling to do later on in this game. Same result as the previous ball, played to the same man. And the overs going by doubly quick. Again concedes 3 in his first over. Score is 5 for no loss after 2. One team will test sweet victory this morning, and which will leave the other on played 2 and lost 2. So a great opportunity for both to say that they can tot one up in the wins column. Ali Balida continues from the forest end. Protection for him in deep extra cover and long off. Balls that one across the man. Mudola uses his feet, moves to the off stump, but unable to put that away.
I tell you, for better captaincy, he would have wrote Conrad Ruama early in the game to make sure that he capitalizes on the power play. But now, You see that Ali Walida started off very nicely, giving away just one run in his first over. And as he comes back, he's on the same good course, making sure that runs don't come easy. And I feel if you had Conrad Wama, because he's in form, he would somehow quickly make sure that at the end of the second over, you're close to the 20s. And by the time these other batters like Edgar Mudola come in later on, they have something to build on. But now the dot ball will now get in the way of Conrad Wama, because it will come when wickets are falling and they don't have enough runs. I think there is something that has been missed by Mountain Meru.
That one keeping low from Balidawa, but Muhumuza equal to the task, keeps that one out. We've seen that in some of the matches that have gone on so far. Rocks back to the onto the back foot, mid off in business, cuts it off. And because the spinners are bowling, you feel that the overs are running quickly. We are well into the third one. Opportunity, down on his knee. Daniel Muhumuza manages to find the man at mid-wicket. He will have to depart for only 3 runs. First wicket falls in the third over. 7 for 1. Trying to play it from the onside, offside to the onside there, on his knee, well within the slot, his slot he felt, trying to go above mid-wicket.
Yeah, there had to be a time for him to break the shackles, Daniel Muhumuza, but in the end falling into the trap for Ali Balidawa. Runs were not coming easy their way, so he needed to make sure that he capitalizes a bit and make sure that he breaks the shackles to get runs on board. In the end, he falls into the trap and Mount Meru loses the first wicket. 7 for 1 after 2.5 overs. Ali Walidawa making the change and making sure that they do pick up that wicket.
With Daniel Muhumuza falling early, you feel that there is still a shuffle in the Mount Meru side. Conrad Luwama going further down. Sends in Eric Mukisa to do some batting. Mukisa is a pinch hitter, so to say. One ball to navigate for him in Balidawa's second over. Good yoker there to complete his over. Figures of 1 for 2 for Ali Balidawa. 7 runs for the loss of 1 after 3 overs.
Genrot Kenneth, who gave a 5 in his first over, is now into the attack again for Mount Elgon. Bit of a slower, but gotten off the hip very nicely there by Daniel Muhumuza. Sorry, that is Edgar Mudola.
Tentative running there from the batters from Mount Meru. Kabanda going round to collect that at backward square leg. Still in place for Kenneth Ogenroth. And Mukisa offering a dead bat. That ball going to third man. Not a good start you'd say for Mount Meru. Not taking advantage of the field restrictions during this power play. Plays that ball from the offside to the onside at square leg, realizing that that is the gap. Change of ends there. But Mudula was waiting for that short ball from Kenneth Ogenroth. Dispatches him for the first boundary of the second innings. Good pick up there, you would say. That was the intention for the first ball, trying to bowl that body line. And the great comeback there from Kenneth Ogenroth. Trying to lure Mudola into a false shot there. Ogenroth and the captain, 3 fielders only on the leg side. Straying down the leg rather than across the body of the batter. Kenneth Ogenroth, one for the extras column. Better line there from Ogenroth. Dot ball brings a close to the 4th over. Total is 16 for the loss of 1. Great shot there of the batter taking his guard. These pictures brought to you by Deep End Sports TV. Follow their YouTube channel, subscribe and like, so that you will be updated on live events that they are covering. Jackson Asiku comes in from the Forest End to replace Ali Dawa. That's one to the legs of Eric Mukisa. Pick up another run. The batting lineup of Mount Meru in this match featuring the Mumus, Mudola, Muhumuza, Mukisa, similar to the one of Kilimanjaro for the Oz, Openjimungu, Owili, Okwalinga. Played to that one and missed it. The chase to keep it in the boundary ropes. Unsuccessful for Mount Elgon. Keeper the guilty party there. Don't have so many runs to work with. That ball staying low. Good ball that put the batter out of shape there. Has a shuffle to the offside as his trigger Edgar Mudola, trying to hit that ball on the onside. Only mid wicket and fine leg, the fielders on the onside. And that is the shot he's been trying to play. No need to run. Found the gap there and has 4 runs added to his score. Asiku straying down the leg side. Pick up another single there. Edgar Mudola, who seems to be in the groove when a batter is hitting that ball well, gives him more confidence. Swing and a miss from Mukisa. Good stop there in the field from the man in covers, and that brings us to the end of the 5th over. "27 runs for the loss of 1 wicket as the penultimate over of the power play comes. Emma Twijuche, captain Mount Elgon, with ball in hand for some off spin. Sends out long on as boundary protection and Deepex recover. The race to keep that ball within the boundary is on. Good footwork there but they ran too. Another miss there from the man behind the stumps. Focusing his eyes on the batter's movement instead of on the ball. By runs there for Mount Meru. I think he's probably standing too close. Mudola has that shimmy into the line of the stumps. Good cover drive there from Mudola to pick up another boundary. Grounded, all power, beats the man, and they pick up another 4 runs. Some acceleration there from Mudola, and the word from the skipper, his skipper on the boundary was believe in yourself. Change of bowling ends. Trijuche now comes right arm over. No protectors in the infields, and they pick up another single. Mukisa finds the gap at mid-on to pick up another single, with Mudola finding the boundaries. Mukisa complementing with the singles there. Mount Meru the happier side right now. Moved into position quickly there. Trijuche persisted with the ball on leg stump. Deposits it for boundary 4. And it is a very, very productive over for Mount Meru and Edgar Mudola in particular. Right down on his knee. And it is a bit foolhardy for the captain, the man with the ball, not to make adjustments, because Mudola always shuffles to the offside and tries to play on the onside. Picks up a quick single to retain strike. Very intelligent batting there. And at the end of the 6th over, the score is 43 runs for the loss of 1 wicket. Mudola 32 in 24. Quick fire there. Mukisa 3 in 6. Still trying to find his groove. A shot there of the scoreboard. 6 overs completed. 43 runs. The power play is done and dusted. 43 runs for the loss of 1. And you would feel that it has been evenly matched there so far. There will be a bowling, sorry, there is no bowling change. It is Jackson Asiku continuing from the forest end. Well driven down on the ground. Man at long off comes in to keep that one. Asiku going for 11 in his first over. Will have to fight back so that his figures at the end of the day are reflective of his effort. Very good ball. Beats the man completely. Mukisa trying to play dead bat there. That ball going through the wicket keeper. Some housekeeping there from umpire Reston Alumansi. This match evenly poised. 79 runs required in 82 balls. Required run rate just below 6, 5.78. With the current run rate almost approaching 7, 6.95. At this rate, they should be able Mount Meru to overhaul that total 123 to notch their first victory. Looking not to throw it away like they did last time. The captain, Conrad Lubwama, going further and further down the order. And Jackson Asiku having to bowl that one, drifting down the leg side. Extras on offer. He has protection. Boundary riders. He sends the man from deep mid wicket to almost cow corner, a wide-ish cow corner. Gaps are plenty there. Mukisa comfortable picking up just that single to bring Mudola, the man whose blade is blazing at the moment, to continue with that damage. Lofts it over man at covers. Quick running there, and they pick up 2. The scoreboard keeps ticking, and before you know it, they will be well within sight of victory. Mount Meru having a lengthy team meeting after that crashing loss by 1 run to Mount Satima. Saw it and pulls it, almost going round its Kabanda, but they pick up another single. At the completion of match day number 3, all teams will have played at least 2 games, with the encounter between Renzori and Satima coming. Glove work leaving a lot to be desired. Quick running, and they pick up another 2 runs to that wide delivery. final ball of this Jackson Asiku over, and he was almost bowling that off the strip. He will have to bowl that one again. 21 so far conceded. Another 10 runs conceded in this over so far. Drop and run there from Eric Mukisa. Good running there from Mudola. Sometimes you find batters feel that they need to retain strike, but Mudola doing the right thing. 7 overs completed, 54 for the loss of 1. The words between the batters out there in the middle is, you suppose, we should keep going, looking good now, hoping that by the halfway point they have about 70, 80 runs. But there is a bowling change from the highway end. Adam Kasim comes into the attack. A man with a variety of tricks up his sleeve. Slower balls, pace off balls, quicker balls, googlies. And a juggling act there of the first ball of Adam Kasim from the captain, Emma Twijuche, having an indifferent day out there in the center. You cannot afford to gift lives and opportunities to those guys. Makes up for that mistake there. Flighted ball. Ali Balidawa unable to keep it within the boundary ropes. The pressure firmly upon Adam Kasim now, and you feel that that dropped catch off his first ball might be a difference maker. Will Mount Elgon live to rule that dropped catch? They need to start picking wickets, and quickly. Eric Mukisa, great use of his feet there. Punches it through covers, picks up 1. Rocks back on the back foot there. Eric Mudola does not pick that one up cleanly. Could only manage one within the ring. And Mukisa, having failed in the other game, you feel that he's trying to make up for it. Keep company to the man, and almost playing it back to Adam Kasim for a catch. Doing the fielding of his own bowling, going for 6 runs in his first over. 60 for 1 after 8. Mukisa Eric 10 in 14. Edgar Mudola 37 in 28. Mount Meru on their merry way to achieve their first victory. You feel with the required runs well below the available balls, The captain realizing that Ali Balidawa did a very good job in the power play. And now with protection, he can come and do a restricting job, dry up those runs and create some pressure. Ali Balidawa replaces Jackson Asiku from the Forest end. Swing and a miss there from Mudola, who seems to be going in only one way. Power, a quicker ball, balled wide off, and that will be a dot ball. That is the job he has been asked to do. Unable to find the gap. 3 dot balls on the trot. Mukisa comes to offer some counsel. Might be able to tell him maybe drop and run. Get off the strike and clear your mind. Goes to his favored shot there. Slog sweep for a maximum. Right now into the 40s, Eric Mudola. Clean pick up there. That ball angling down the leg side. He's seeing that ball and the line quickly. Gets into position. Quicker ball there from Balidawa. Surprises the batter. Finds the middle, but only goes to Gali for one. Mukisa misses out on one ball wide. Dot ball for Ali Balidawa. 7 coming off his over. Score is 67 for the loss of 1 after 9 overs. Eric Mudola ensuring that the runs required are always below the available balls. Adam Kasim asked to do some stifling. Ali Balidawa, except for that maximum, did a good job. Bowled 3 quick dot balls, and then Mudola went haywire for that maximum. Gets into position quickly, pulls it. They'll pick up 1. There's been no respite with Mudola on strike. Googly there from Adam Kasim. Manat covers guilty. Emma Tujuche having that kind of a day where the ball is following you. That Jago to miss a catch must be still working. And on his mind, Mudola trying to offer a deft touch to point, but Mukisa had not made the start. And that is wide. Adam Kasim, knowing that the trigger movement of Mudola takes him to middle and off. That should be 1 again. The scoreboard is always ticking with this pair out there in the middle. Quicker one there from Adam Kasim. That ball turns a mile, beats the man Eric Mukisa, and that brings us to the halfway stage of the second innings. 70 for the loss of 1. Edgar Mudola 5 away from a half century. 45 in 36. Mukisa 11 in 16. 53 runs required in 61 balls. And the man making his debut in this East African Safari T20 Cup, Rakib Mbaine, given the ball, expect pace off from his balls and some flight. Deep mid wicket sent out, cow corner and long on the onside boundary protectors, long off and deep extra cover on the offside. Flight on offer there. And starts off with 1 there. The fielder in the deep doing his job. You will feel that that ball is there for the hitting, but make sure that you go over the fielders that they have set for this young man. Waits on that one. Mukisa goes aerial, over covers. And I feel that they should be able to target this over, pick up about 12, 13, or even 15. And your task is much more easier. Mudola obliges with another boundary 4. Baine guilty of bowling it short and wide. Pulled well by Mudola. And with that, he crafts his 50. The third man to do that, Edgar Mudola, 51 in 38 balls. Making up for the horror show that he had of 3 dropped catches while his team was fielding. Better ball there from Baine Rakib, drawing him into cutting that ball on the offside. Misses out. Better line there. And another dot ball. Final ball of Baine's first over. Push hard for 2. Mukisa sends him back. 6 of Baine's first over. 78 for the loss of 1. After 11 overs. Run rate of 7.7. .09, I beg your pardon. Edgar Mudola has been the difference maker in this innings and ranches, following in the footsteps of Conrad Lubwama in their first game, who anchored the innings with a well-crafted 50. 2 men from Mount Meru side now having 50s. Mudola has been there from the start. As you see, cricket education ongoing in the nets on this oval. The man in your shot, Edwin Nwagaba, coach of St. Cornelius, Kalagala SS, able to take his side, girls side, out of the regional qualifiers for their maiden appearance at the Girls Schools Cricket Week. Of course, St. Cornelius Kalagala, a member school of Mukono Cricket Community. And long may it continue, where we have girls from this region on the national stage. A bowling change from the highway end as Jackson Asiku changes ends to come from this side.
Asiku Jackson has so far bowled 2 overs and he has conceded 22 runs, still wicketless in this game. But now he is the bowling change coming into the attack. Mountain Elgon still have a chance. Inside edge. No protection backward of the square there at faint leg. And that will run all the way to the boundary. Edgar Mdola has been in cruising form. And he's been getting the runs, and now he's made sure that he keeps scoring the runs for Mount Meru in this run chase. What a shot piece there from Edgar Mdola. 56 runs off 42 balls. Onto the pads, shuffle across the stumps by Edgar Mdola, and the finger goes up. Edgar Mdola shuffling across the stumps a little early in this game and not managing to hit that one on. It is the prize wicket, the wicket that they really needed to try and make sure that they now get a chance of punching back. And out of nothing, there goes a wicket. A little straight. He shuffled across the stumps early. And beautiful decision there by the umpire. The second wicket for Mount Meru goes. And it is the half century on Edgar Mdola who departs. 41 more needed in 52 balls for victory to go the way of Mount Meru. And in the half century of the first game, the man who scored the very first half century in this tournament, Conrad Wama, will be the man in for the side. His side might have fallen short by just a few runs, but he was really looking to be in a cruising form. And now there he comes in to continue batting for the side. 2 wickets have fallen for 82 runs, 41 in 52. For victory to go the way of Mount Meru. They posted 122 in the first innings, and now they will be hoping that they can get the remaining 41 runs to cross that line. Have all been deployed at the boundary for Rakibu Mbaini, and another fielder, the 5th one, being introduced at extra cover, taking plenty of their time to make sure that they have a proper field that they can do ball at. Rakibu Mbaini playing the first game today. He was unavailable on match day number 1, but another handed spinner nearly hit that one to the cover fielder Lole Arafat, but it is a dot ball for Rakibu Mbaini to start off the over. They will need these dot balls to make sure that they still bring back the pressure. That is hit, and it goes all the way. but it picks up the fielder. There was a trap which was created, and Rakibu Mbeine manages to pick up a prize wicket. Another wicket goes, and it is Balidawa Ali who takes the catch. And Mokisa Eric will have to make the long walk back to the hut. Coming into the attack, Rakibu Mbeine was really the bowler to take on. But that googly ball there not being hit all the way. And Balidawa Ali taking the catch, helping his side pick up that much needed wicket. The two batters who had somehow stabilized the things for Mount Meru, Mudola Edgar, the half century on, and Mokesa Eric have both fallen. Current 107.05 and required 4.39. 36 runs in 48 balls for Mount Meru to pick up the victory. This is match day 1. I beg your pardon, this is match day 3 of the East African Safari T20 here at Florida. We have another clash happening between Mount Renzori and Mount Satima later on at this very ground, starting at 2 p.m. So make sure you keep it deep in sports media to make sure that you don't miss any of these games. Many interesting and exciting youngsters are right here showcasing what they do have. Siana Sif at the back of a golden duck is the new batter in. He didn't score any runs during the Mount Satima game, but now he comes in. He can knock the ball around, and now he'll be hoping that he can just make sure that he gets Conrad Ruwama on strike. Down the ground and off the mark right away with a single. Brilliantly done there by Sia Nasif, making sure that he rotates strike. Now the pressure drifting the way of the batting team. Some width, but it will be called wide by the umpire. Mbaini Rakib knows that Luvama Conrad is a very strong player, so he doesn't want to bowl anything close to him. And that is the end of the over. The 90 runs coming up at the end of the 13th over, and 90 for 3 is what the scoreboard reads. 32 in 42 is the equation. Chance to catch, goes begging, and it is another single added onto the total. The current passage of play is the singles being added onto the total and somehow working out in the favor of the fielding team because they somehow want some dirty balls hit down and all the way. It was a full toss there coming in from Kasim Adam and well dealt with by Natsitsia bringing up the boundary. Good batting display there. And now the 100 runs come up as they come to the end of the 14th over. 100 for 3 is the score. There is a bowling change. Rakib Mbeine out of the attack and Christian Mulindwa will be coming to bowl the 15th over. Mulindwa Christian has not been so much used in this game in terms of bowling. 23 in 36, but Mulindwa Christian starts off with a dot ball. Brilliant line there coming in from Christian. Long on, long off, cow corner, deep mid wicket, extra cover, all at the boundary for the aggressive Conrad Rwama, who scored the first half century in this tournament. Conrad goes hard but is beaten by the turn of the ball, and it is another dot ball there for another dot ball in the over. 3 dot balls in the over. Brilliant spell here coming in from that man. This time round that is hit down to long on, and they will only take a single. One more ball remaining in this over. Finds the fielder at extra cover for just a single. There is a run out chance, and the bigger chance was at the wicket keeper's end, but it deals with some bit of awareness, and in the end it's just a single. That single will bring us to the end of the over. 3 runs off Mulindwa Christian's first over, and at the end 3 runs off Mulindwa Christian's first over, and at the end of the 15th, 103 for a loss of 3 wickets. Mount Meru has, and they will need more 20 runs in 20 balls. Beautiful shots there by the Deep End Sports Media. Those are the beautiful sites there by our broadcast partners, Deep End Sports Media. Deep End Sports Media do a lot of broadcasting in terms of events. You have games, football games, basketball games, volleyball, badminton, kabaddi, sorry, they can do broadcast for all those games, but also they can stream events, be it weddings. So they should be your first priority when it comes to broadcasting. King's the Children's Medical Center located in Mukono. They do a lot of infant care, the pediatrics, always get medication there. They also accept insurance cards, so make sure that when you have any of these demands, you reach out to Kingsley Children's Medical Center. But Kenneth Organ Road coming back for his third over. Good start to his over. He didn't put in any effort there to stop the ball, and what could have been a dot ball results into a single. But much better, as long as they are cutting off the boundaries, they give themselves a chance of winning this game. Tries to create room and cut, but misses, and it is another dot ball going the way of Mount Elgon. They will need many of these, the dot balls, and now so far the passage of play is somehow bringing them back in the game. Now the whites being very costly, and not so good glove work there done by Emmanuel Tujiche, and 5 wides will be taken now. This is turning out to be very costly for the team. Those 5 wides, somehow the wicketkeeper moved and got there, but didn't manage to get hold onto the ball, and they do take the runs. He should be looking at making amendments, because now the required runs are only 14. Beats him by that bounce off the surface, and it is another dot ball for Kenneth Organ. That's a much better line there, bowled by Kenneth. But now the number of runs that are remaining, 14 runs in 27 balls. It will take them picking up some big wickets if they are to win this game. Asif Sia there taking his time to get ready. There's a run-out chance at the bowler's end. A directed throw could have given them that run-out, but they didn't go for it. Oh, brilliant delivery there coming in from Kenneth Organ. Wrote a slow bouncer into the surface, just rolls over the stumps, and it is another dot ball. Final ball of the over coming in from Kenneth Ogenroth. Right to the pads. There was an appeal, but the umpire says that was going down the leg. Dot ball, end of the over. 16 gone and 109 for 3 is the score. 14 more needed in 24 balls. They will need to make sure that they bowl well and bowl the good areas in these remaining 4 overs to make sure that they don't give away anything easy and give them a chance of picking up this win. Emmanuel Tujuche now going back to his prime ball as he's brought back Kenneth Ogenroth, who opened the bowling in tandem with Ali Balida, who bowled the very first over of the game. And now Ali Balida, who has so far bowled 3 overs and he conceded 9 runs, picking up only a single wicket, is back into the attack. Ali Balida and Conrad Luama, 2 close friends. They both played for Uganda under 19 around at the same time. And I tell you, this is a very interesting battle in the making between Conrad Luama and Ali Balida. And if Conrad Luama tries to take on Ali Balida and he loses his wicket in this over, it might be a clear passage of play for Mount Elgon to go on and win the game, because they will have done a lot of good work in making sure that they don't give away anything easy. So now with long on, long off, cow corner, extra cover and deep mid wicket all at the boundary, Ali Balida will be hoping that he can get this wicket. Cramping him for room and a dot ball to start off. Brilliant spell there. Somehow he wanted to play it late, but then he managed to hit it. Drifting it away from him, Luwama going across the line, and it is another dot ball. Now the dot balls working in the favor of Mount Elgon. 2 full, right on the wide line. Another dot ball, interesting passage of play. Three dot balls in the over, and now it is Luwama who is on pressure. Luwama shuffling across the stumps, but again Ali Balida bowling it wide of him, and another dot ball. 2 more to play in this over. This time round he goes and he connects, but not a good pick up there by Rakib Mbaine. That goes through him and giving them a chance to pick up 2. Good running. Nasif Sia and Conrad Luwama picking up the double and reducing the deficit to just a 12. Final ball of the over, and it is a dot ball. End of the over. And as we come to the end of the over, 111 for 3 is the score. 12 more needed in 19. You feel that the buy runs that were given by Emmanuel Tujuche in the previous over have somehow undone his side, because the 5 wides somehow swung the equation in favor of Mount Meru. Elgon was keeping some pressure on, and if Elgon doesn't go on to win this game, it will be the first time we see the team defending losing the game. Another exciting clash will be coming up in the afternoon between Mount Satima and Mount Renzori. Just keep it deep in Sports Media, because we'll be making sure that you don't miss any action. Ogenroth Kenneth will be coming to bowl his final over And now going back to his prime bowlers, Emmanuel Twijuche, he is making sure that he goes for his prime bowlers to make sure that he picks up a wicket or two here and make sure that they can now fight in the final overs of this game. 3 more to play in the match. Kenneth Ogenroth back to bowl. Express pace and fumbled by Rakibu Mbaine, giving them a chance to take 2. And exactly 10 are needed. Unhappy Kenneth Ogenroth because he feels Rakibu Mbaine could have done better to make sure that he cuts off that one. They are now making some changes in the field, dropping down fine leg and bringing the fielder at long off up to mid off into the surface. Run out chance, but not taken. Required to win. Now a single digit. Just more 9 runs are remaining for victory. There was a thick edge coming off the blade of Conrad Rwama, but it is put down by the wicketkeeper Emmanuel Twijuche, the captain undoing his side. He is now playing for the opposition and helping them in this winning cause. Oh, Ogenroth creating another chance, and Emmanuel Twijuche not holding on to it. Clear, the ball was there for the taking, but he went and made sure that he just stops it. Very, very costly there for his team. A whip off the pads, backward beating the fielder at short fine leg, and another boundary in the over. It is the first boundary in the over, but it is Conrad Rwama who picks up that one very nicely off his body line, sending it down to the sweepers and reducing what is needed to 5 in 14. Exactly a boundary could see it game, set and match. And what a way a composed innings. Mount Meru slower and a dot ball. Good adjustment there by Kenneth Ogenroth, hitting the hard line and not giving anything away. He goes, and it goes all the way. What a way to finish up the innings in style. Conrad Rwama playing that one over long on, and it is game, set and match. A 7 wickets victory going the way of Mountain Meru. But look at that shot. Made a shuffle across the stumps, picked up the length very nicely, and he managed to dispatch it all the way, bringing up that maximum and helping his side pick up victory. What a brilliant display there from Mount Meru as they pick up the very first victory. Mountain Elgon 122 is what they put on board. but they'll have themselves to blame because somehow you feel that 120 runs were enough for them to defend, and in the end they don't come out on top because they do lose this one by 7 wickets. A fine batting display in the second inning, a half century by Eddie Gamdola, helping this side to finally cross the line. 20 off 22 for Conrad Luama will be the final icing on the cake. Mountain Elgon won the toss and opted to ball first, and Ali Walidawa, a big opponent, Mountain Meru, who won the toss and opted to ball first. And Ali Walidawa coming, Ali hitting out of the blocks, 51 of 53, 16 of 18 for Adam Kasim and 15 for Kenneth Ogenroth. 2 wickets apiece for Eric Muksa and Andrew Hajuguju, whereas Eric might have picked up only a single wicket. And this was Eddie Gamdola's half century, 56 of 43, Conrad Luama's 20 of 24, and Eric Muksa's 14 have been the changes and have been the reasons as why they've made sure that they do pick up this victory. In the afternoon there will be a clash between Mount Satima taking on Mount Renzori. Two teams at the back of losses in yesterday's games will be squaring off later on today in the afternoon. My name is Evan Sipian Sajabi, and I've been here with Conrad with Solomon Luama Chugozi. Don't get anywhere, we'll be bringing to you the post-match presentation shortly. Good afternoon and welcome to the post-match presentation of the first game on match day number 3. A clash between Mount Meru and Mountain Elgon, but Mountain Meru has won the game by 7 wickets. But let me invite the captain for Mountain Elgon, Emmanuel Twitcher, to come and tell you what might have gone wrong in the game. Emma had luck upon the loss, but seeing 122 runs, did you feel that it was somehow defendable for your team?
It wasn't enough, given the fact that they have their side is good. They have enough batters. We were 20 runs short, so our side we were still faulty.
What do you make of the bowling changes that you've made and your fielding in the whole as a team?
We fielded badly. Our ball, we mainly a spin bowling side. We only have 2 pace bowlers in the team, so our changes were not so good, and well, we hope to rectify that.
Thank you so much and go well.
Thank you.
And now let me invite Conrad Ruama, the captain for Mount Meru. Conrad, we saw in the previous game your team fell short by 1 run, but today you came out and it was a little more composed. What do you make of the batting display by your boys?
Yeah, as I said in the morning, I had to work on the batting order. So if you saw the game today, the batting order changed. The game we lost, I opened batting, but today I came in to finish the game. So I let in my boys first to give me a good start, and they come back and finish the game.
Was there some pressure seeing 122 runs while you were coming on to chase?
No, I didn't see any pressure at all because the boys gave me a good start. Mudola came in and gave us a good show. So I came in when I'm confident just to finish the game.
Thank you so much and go well.
All right.
And now the player of match scored the third half century in this tournament, 56 runs for Edgar Mdola, and to give out to the award is Vivian Inganda. Edgar, how was it like for you in terms of batting well out there in the middle?
I had to take charge because as a senior player on the team, I had to take charge and score some runs for the team so that we get that win.
What is the feeling like and the mood in the camp? And go well.
Thank you.
And we've come to the end of the post-match presentation, but there is another clash happening at 2 p.m. between Mount Renzori and Mount Satima. Make sure you don't go anywhere.